Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go racing here at Auto Club Speedway for the Auto Club 400 in the Cup Series. I simmed through the Xfinity Series race. As you can see the order on your screen, Ross Chastain actually pulled off the victory, but we did not have a truck race coming into this episode. They had an off week. I'm not sure. They might have an off week in the next episode as well, but like I said, not 100% sure on that. But we are ready though to get going here for the Cup Series in Auto Club, a track that I look forward to coming to quite a bit now, as we've had a good chunk of success at this racetrack in the past. But before we get going, we actually have some breaking news once again here for the second episode in a row. No retirements to announce, but something big for us to announce. Owen, out of the 20. JGR announces today that Gary Owen will not return to the 20 car next season, and he will be replaced by Christopher Bell. We wanted to let Gary know as soon as we could, said JGR, and here was my response. I said, I'm just glad they let me know so early. They have struggled in the past to give drivers an answer early enough, and I was afraid of being screwed over like the other drivers have been. And there were some takes on Twitter. There you see Joe Gibbs Racing's tweet saying we will not be in the 20 car next season. We are excited to work with Gary for the rest of the season in aims of a championship. And Chip Ganassi Racing responds saying, hello Gary, we'd like to have a word. So maybe a little bit of something developing behind the scenes right there. We could end up maybe at Chip Ganassi Racing in the future. At least we know we're going to have some talks with them now in the future here of the career mode. This certainly might come as a surprise to you guys. You know, we had 2 wins last season. We were the clearly underperforming driver at Joe Gibbs Racing, as the other guys had like 4 wins at the minimum between Truex, Hamlin, and Kyle Busch. So like I said, it still might come as a surprise. We had a good rookie season, and it's not really because of a lack of talent. It's all financial reasons and stuff that is going to get Christopher Bell promoted to this 20 car. So we are out at the 20 next season, and thankfully with this announcement coming so early, we have the whole season to find a ride for next season in the career mode. So at least that gives us a comfortable position to be in now as we come through into qualifying, just trying to keep our head focused though on race day here in Auto Club now as we come through to cross the line and qualifying with a 39.688, and we qualify in P16 here for the Auto Club 400. Not the greatest qualifying effort, of course, but it's something I was definitely happy with. Now, as you see the rest of the qualifying grid right now, Noah Gragson, a rookie, in 24th. Kyle Larson down in 26th. Suarez, 28th. Just noting some of those roster changes. Christopher Bell down in the 32nd position. Timmy Hill down in last. It surprises me to see some of the drivers down there that have really boosted ratings for the season, but I'm sure it'll shake out as the season goes on now, as Chase Elliott rounds out the top 10. Bubba Wallace up there in P6. Bowman 5th. And on pole is Ross Chastain, joined by the rookie of Chase Briscoe here as we get ready to go for the Auto Club 400, a track that has a lot of history, and there's a lot of rumors going around right now about this track potentially getting completely torn down and turned into a short track here in the near future. Of course, that would not come into play in the NASCAR Heat Career Mode, but just something to keep in mind that could be happening in real life here, and would completely just change this track for the future now. As Kurt Busch, he failed technical inspection. He's starting at the back. Alex Bowman missed the driver's meeting, and Chase Briscoe, who qualified second, gave up his qualifying position for a brand new set of tires. So Kurt Busch won the last episode in Las Vegas, fresh off of the announcement he will be retiring from this career mode at the end of the season. And now we have the news that we won't be returning to the 20 car. Where will we end up next season? Not sure yet. We need to get out here and run as good as we can to prove that we belong in a 5-star car here for the next season of our career mode. Now, as we are underway though for the Auto Club 400, and Ross Chastain, for the first time in his Cup Series career, starts on the pole position as he leads the field down into turns 1 and turns 2. And we got Bubba Wallace up there in that brand new Jordan Hamlin team now as we come through out of turns 2, or I guess it's the 2311 team it's called now, as we go down this back straightaway. So just trying to get down to that bottom lane as quickly as we can. They're 3 wide in front of us between Byron Keselowski as well as Ryan Newman here as we dive down into the corner. They go high. I, of course, get down to that bottom. We don't want to go down to the apron. The apron down here really slows you down now as we come through side by side there with the 88 of Eric Jones. Eric has had a strong start to the season in that 88 car here in the career mode, so definitely a good move to put him from that 73 car, I think, over to the 88 for Hendrick Motorsports. He's definitely turning it up now, and he's definitely going to be a playoff contender. Obviously, last season was very weird for him. He was full-time in Truck Series. He ran a bunch of Xfinity races, and then he went to the 73 Cup car, which is no longer a team. That got replaced by the 2311 team with Jordan and Hamlin, now driven by Bubba Wallace there, who's just in front of us. He started in the top 10, but you can see early on here he has faded down to 11th place there in front of us there as we go into the corner. Joey Logano now out front as Cole Custer. He's just behind myself as we exit turn 4. Still side by side, 3 wide now with the 88 of Jones as well as the 6 of Ryan Newman here. We're going to try and side draft just a little bit there on that left rear quarter panel of the 88, but it gets clear with 12 laps to go in stage 1. Now as Tyler Reddick gets to our back bumper as well as we dive down into the corner. He's going to try and force a 3 wide up my inside, but I kind of chop his nose and we slice to the inside of Newman as well to the inside of the 23 of Bubba Wallace now as we go down this back straightaway. Maybe even going to be 3 wide here down the back stretch as I get to that right rear quarter panel, but just can't quite get there. And the 88 of Jones stays clear and comes up in front of us as we dive down into the corner. You see a new paint scheme actually on the 23 of the Bubba Wallace car. Renato actually made me 2 different paint schemes for his car this season, so you're going to see a few times throughout the season that scheme will alternate. So once again, huge thanks to Renato for making these mods and paint schemes possible here in the career mode. Now as we come through down the front stretch, looking now to the inside again of Eric Jones as we try to move up into P11. Definitely felt a good chunk of speed in this car. I was pretty pleased with how it was feeling at this point now. Car's feeling good, guys. I think we've got something today again, just like we've had for the first few races of the year. There you heard the radio from myself, just emphasizing, like, I feel like we got a good car. We've had a very good car to start the season. Second in the Daytona 500, top 5 over in Las Vegas, and now here we are closing in on a top 10 position as we run down the 24 of William Byron. Now, as we would actually bring the 88 of Eric Jones into the mix as we came through down the front stretch. Now on lap 6, we had run down the 24 of Byron. We ran down Kevin Harvick as well as Ryan Blaney as we go down this front stretch towards turns 1. Kyle Busch, he had actually taken the lead from the 22 of Joey Logano here as we come through the center of the corner. I go all the way up to the high lane, and we're going to try and carry the momentum to the outside of Blaney, but this run kind of stalls out mid-corner, so he's able to stay clear as he's going to continue side by side with the 24 of William Byron. Now Jones gets back to my inside here as we go down the back straightaway into turn 3 now as Kyle Busch continues to hold off Joey Logano now as I go back up to that high lane, and that does not work at all through turns 3 and 4. It actually destroys my momentum and allows Cole Custer to get to my inside as well here. And as we went down now into turn 1 on lap 8, Custer still up my inside as we came through the center of the corner. I once again build up a run there, but as we get towards the end of turns 2, it dies out again, and now we fall down to P13, but we fight back to the outside of Custer, who kind of checked up a little bit there to the 12 of Ryan Blaney. And I look behind me for a second, and I notice that Kyle Larson is zooming through the field. He is closing in very quickly on the back of us here as we dive down through into turn 3. Then sure enough, we come down the front stretch, diving to the inside of the 41 of Custer, trying to get back up to P12, and then we even get up the inside of Blaney into the corner. And then I'm continuing to notice Kyle Larson is quickly coming to the back of us now as we come through, clearing Ryan Blaney out of the corner almost, but he's going to try and fight back here on the exit of the corner, but we do just have enough speed to come up in front of him here as we go down the backstretch. So now up to P11 again as Logano has actually retaken the lead from Kyle Busch, and as that happens, the caution comes out for the first time here today in the Auto Club 400 now, as this gives us a chance to calm down and reset and get ready to go back green as everybody is coming to the pit lane. So we're going to come in for 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 tires. I was thinking about maybe making some potential adjustments. You notice actually Ross Chastain, who started on pole, now down to P7 here, but I decided to go and put the right rear tire pressure down a bit. I was actually going to do the wedge, but I decided to just do the tire pressures. I also adjusted the right front tire pressure down just a little bit now. As you see, the running order so far, I could not find out what brought out the caution, but Noah Gregson's still running pretty bad there at P34, but it's Matt DiBenedetto actually who has brought out the caution there as we gain 1 spot on the pit lane. So DiBenedetto's bad luck has carried over into the season now, as I have boosted his rating this season. Of course, I can't control any mechanical issues on the car, but now the green flag is back out, and we are underway, and it's only going to be a 2-lap dash here to decide the stage 1 ending now, as you got the 4 of Kevin Harvick on our inside. Behind us, we got Eric Jones in the 12 of Ryan Blaney here as we start just behind that 24 of William Byron. Joey Logano back to the lead into turns 1. Kyle Busch not with a great launch, leading that outside lane as we come through the center of turns 1 and turn 2 now, as Kyle Larson is able to get up my inside here as we go down this backstretch, as I would love to get down to that bottom lane and get in a position here to get some stage points now, as of course only the top 10 get stage points as we dive down into the corner. A lap and a half to go here in stage 1. Larson clears us through turn 3 and 4 now, as Almirola as well gets to my inside here as we come through out of the corner, and now we are clear of Almirola though on the exit, and they're 3 wide in front of us between Elliott, the 88 of Jones, as well as the 43 of Kyle Larson here as we start this final lap in stage 1 to the back of the 24. We dive up the inside of William Byron into the corner. Logano under attack from Martin Truex Jr. for the lead as Hamlin follows Truex as well, as it's JGR, all of our JGR teammates up inside the top 5 now as we come through out of the corner, up the inside now of Eric Jones as we get past the 9 of Elliott, who's going to battle us for that last spot here in the stage 1 points paying positions here as we dive down. Byron just behind us there, ready to pounce maybe if myself and Elliott come together through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here in stage 1. Truex is going to be able to hang on for the stage victory. Elliott battles back to the outside now. Larson trying to make it 3 wide in front of us now as Elliott will get us at the line there as we're going to come through P11 in stage 1. So no stage points there as Elliott just had to run on the exit of the corner. I tried to side draft him a bit, but just wasn't quite enough there to pull that 9 car back like I needed to. Now as Truex wins stage 1, Hamlin and Kyle Busch are teammates 3rd and 4th, and then here we are down in P11. No one coming to the pit lane from the looks of it here, so we would get ready to stay out for the restart. There you see Alex Bowman, Harrison Burton, Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, Daniel Suarez all there in the mid-20s. Not great runs for them so far. Bubba Wallace started inside the top 10, and then Gregson was all the way down at the back of the field, and as we were looking through that, the front runners must have come to the pit lane because we stay out like everyone looked like they were doing, and all of a sudden now we find ourselves in the lead. So my guess is when I was scrolling through the leaderboard, the front runners decided to come into the pit lane. So now we are leading here at the start of stage 2. Kind of caught me way off guard, but now we're on the front row with the Trackhouse car, brand new team to NASCAR this season here in the Cup Series of Daniel Suarez driving that 99 car in second place as we come through turns 1 and 2. That 99 car not going to be the best car, of course, throughout this season, but they might be close to maybe fighting for a playoff spot, but they're just kind of similar to the 23 car where they're just starting to build up stuff, and really next season is what we're looking at before they become a playoff competitor, maybe even a race winning competitor now as we lead the way though through 3 and 4. Those fast guys might actually end up getting caught up behind the slower cars. We might be able to pull off a stage win here, guys. There you hear a little bit of optimism from myself there on the radio saying, you know, the faster cars are probably going to get stuck for a little bit here behind the 99 car, the 13 car and whatnot, and this is going to really allow myself to open up a gap to the field behind us now as they're going to, like Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, all are going to have to try and fight their way through those slower cars as well as Joey Logano. So we're going to try and hop on this opportunity and build up as much of a gap as we can here in stage 2. So we come through now to lap 4 of 12 in the second stage, and sure enough, that gap had opened up. Second place had actually just got taken, though, by the 42 of Ross Chastain, so the faster cars only took about 3 full laps before they were really starting to get through the traffic. So Chastain up in the second, then by lap 6, Martin Truex Jr. had gotten through the traffic. He had gotten up to second place, and immediately I'm looking behind me and noticing that those drivers are closing. Truex, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano round out the top 5 there behind myself, and they are closing the gap here as we go down this front straightaway towards turns 1. So definitely concerns building there. They were gaining about 2 to 3 tenths per lap, and by the mathematics with the amount of laps we have to go here in stage 2, they're going to have to gain about 2 to 3 tenths a lap to catch me. So as of right now, it was going to be a very close call with these guys if we're going to be able to hold them off or not for the stage 2 victory here as we go down this backstretch into turn 3 now on lap 7 of 12 here in this second stage. Now as Matt DiBenedetto is the only driver to DNF from this race at this point. His bad luck carried over from last season apparently. Hopefully we don't see many issues for DiBenedetto, but now the gap down to 1.2 seconds as Kyle Busch has found himself up into second place, and sure enough we come to on lap 9 of 12. Kyle Busch continuing to close the gap, now under a second, 7/10 of a second to be exact, between myself and Kyle Busch, and he's closing enough now as my tires are wearing more and he still has fresher tires, so that gap continues to fall down now as we come through on lap 10, approaching 2 laps to go on the stage. You can see the gap significantly smaller now as Kyle Busch continues to close the gap, now about half a second, 4/10 actually there as we come down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go here in stage 2, 3/10 of a second now as Kyle has the draft right now as we go down towards turns 1, and the fuel icon has come on, so that's a bit of a concern as well as Kyle Busch already to our back bumper as we come through turns 1 and 2. So holding on to the stage victory is going to be very tough as we slide up a little bit on the exit of the corner. Kyle pounces on the opportunity already to my inside as we're going to run him down the track a little bit there, side drafting as much as I can. Logano in the mix as well. A lap and a half to go here in stage 2, and Kyle is going to breeze right on by us. I dive down into turn 3, and you can just see how much better his car and just kind of the tire advantage is right there as he's able to just carry that speed through the center and exit of the corner compared to myself who couldn't quite do that. Now as we do have the draft coming down the front straightaway, the final lap of stage 2 is is underway. Even if we finish P3 here in Stage 2, I still think we get a better stage finish than what we were going to get versus if we had actually came into the pit lane now as we come through the center of turns 1 and 2, closing on the back of Kyle Busch on the entrance and the center, but on the exit he really pulls down the back straightaway now as we come through out of turn 2. Logano closing as well down the back stretch. He has a pretty significant run, poking his nose there to the left, showing that he has more speed than I do as we dive down into turn 3 for the final time here in Stage 2. Logano gets to the inside there. Truex down in 4th place as we exit turns 4. Kyle Busch, Logano 1st and 2nd as we exit turns 4. Now we're actually starting to run out of fuel coming to the finish here in Stage 2. Not enough fuel to get to the end, but it's actually going to still just barely be enough to actually limp us across the line. So we do end up getting P3 still and holding off at least Martin Truex Jr. here in the second stage as Kyle Larson rounds out the top 5. So a very strong car in that 43 here today from Kyle Larson, and I'm very surprised to see how well Kyle Larson is running in the career mode because, you know, I gave him a rating to where he can be a playoff contender, but not really a race-winning contender. But here he is in his first 2 races after Daytona, showing up and contending for victories now as we are going to get ready to go green for the 3rd and final stage. Daniel Suarez actually down a lap, but he is not out of the race. He actually gets the lucky dog and will be back on the lead lap here for the start of the 3rd and final stage in Auto Club. Kyle Busch and Joey Logano will lead the way to the green flag now as the 3rd and final stage is underway. We line up P3 after the pit stop, so either way, I think we're still in a better position. Unfortunately, we did give up the stage 2 victory to Kyle Busch there as we get right to the back of him, push him down towards turn 1 as Kyle Larson just in that 43 right behind us here as he would love to find himself back in victory lane here in his NASCAR return, but we push up the track towards Logano. Larson forces a 3 wide on the exit of the corner now as he's going to blow on by us. Logano clear as well. Truex now looks to the outside as now we got Jones just behind us, who might be 3 wide with Keselowski and Chastain into turn 3 now as Truex is going to get clear as well into the corner. Larson to 2nd place, passing Logano. Now Truex passes Logano as well. We get up the inside now out of turns 4 on the left-hand side there. A little bit of contact with the 22 of Logano. We had a run-in with last episode at Las Vegas with Logano. Now here we are making a little bit more door-to-door contact. So Logano and myself not necessarily getting along very well so far here this season as we dive down into the corner, kind of protecting over his teammate of Brad Keselowski there as we slide up once again on the exit of turn 2, trying to get to that left rear. More contact again with Logano now as Brad Keselowski. He was able to get to my inside down the back straightaway here as we go down towards turn 3, so now we have to fight him off as the 48 of Alex Bowman has found himself back up inside the top 10 just in front of his teammate there of Eric Jones in the 88 as we come through turns 3 and 4. Sliding back up in front of that 48 is now Larson. He drifts back down to P3 and now is under attack from that 22 of Joey Logano as we come through to hit 16 laps to go in the Auto Club 400 now as we try to get to the back of the 2 of Keselowski, and then Logano sure enough passes passes Larson. Keselowski passes Larson as well, and we get right to the back of the 43 of Larson, who falls now down to 5th place, but then the caution comes out with 15 laps to go. Once again, everybody's staying out here, so my assumption was we look at the field. Ryan Newman actually brings out the caution, by the way, but I'm looking at the field. If we stay out here, we should be actually maybe able to make it on field, so I decided we're not going to come to the pit lane here. We should be okay as you see the rest of the order. So Suarez back up to 38th now as we would stay out and get ready to go back green here from P6. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. on the front row. Hamlin was running very well earlier, but he's kind of faded outside the top 10 now as the green flag is back out. A little bit over 10 laps to go here in the Auto Club 400. We got a JGR row 1, a Penske Racing row 2, and then, of course, Kyle Larson and myself here on row 3. And then we got Hendrick Motorsports lining up just behind us now as we go down into the corner right on the back of the 2012 Penske Racing champion of Brad Keselowski. Now as Cole Custer, you can see my rearview mirror is trying to spice it up here as we exit the corner. Kyle Busch looking for win number 1 on the season if we can hang on, which would put Joe Gibbs Racing in victory lane for the 2nd time this season already, as Denny Hamlin, of course, won the Daytona 500 to start off this season here as we dive down into turn 3 side by side with Eric Jones, but he clears us at ease now as Chastain as well is going to get up my inside as we exit the corner, approaching now 11 laps to go. So running out of time here in Auto Club to get ourselves back up towards that front now is Elliott. He's trying to get back up in the mix here in the top 10 as he's side by side with his teammate of Alex Bowman, but we use that draft to clear across Chastain and get right to the back of Brad Keselowski, as well to the outside of the 88 of Jones. Now, as we dive down into the corner, we're going to try and slice through the middle between Keselowski and Jones. 3 wide, but no, Jones stays clear, but we're still up the inside at least of Brad Keselowski as we go down the straightaway, and using the pole now from the 43 of Kyle Larson to get back up the inside of the 88 of Jones. And now we're going to try and pass him. There was a little bit of contact with Jones now as he goes sideways through the center of the corner. He makes a huge save there through the center of turns 3. All on me once again there as I just kind of drifted up into him. Just kind of a misjudgment on my end there, but we keep things focused forwards now as Keselowski tries to take that opportunity and get up my inside, but we are actually able to stay clear of Keselowski into the corner now with just 10 laps to go in this race. Now as we come through to 9 laps to go, the very next lap, Truex, Larson, Kyle Busch now 3 wide as now Logano has taken the lead here as we go into the corner. Behind us, Keselowski, he goes all the way to the outside, while as I'm all the way down to the bottom here as we come through out of turn 2, closing in on this front pack of cars, this top 4 now, which is a Logano, Kyle Busch, Larson, Truex runaway, but then it turned into a Logano and Kyle Busch runaway as Larson and Truex started to fade a little bit. Brad Keselowski got to the back once again of myself, as myself and him were just kind of slowly reeling in this next group of cars here as we come through on lap 44. Truex and Larson, they were just kind of running higher up the track, and that was allowing us to close in as Logano and Kyle Busch continue to battle it out for the lead. Now with Kyle back out in front now as we came through now to lap 45, closing in even closer to the back of the 19 and 43 of Truex and Larson here as we go down this back straightaway. We've also opened up the gap just a little bit more again to the 2 car of Brad Keselowski. There's you see Kyle Busch up ahead, goes all the way to the top, leaves the door open for Joey Logano. Now Logano goes back to the lead looking for his first win of the season as we're right close to the 19 now, within 2 to 3 car lengths here with now 4 laps of fuel on the car. I'm realizing we have 5 laps to go. We're not going to make it to the end of this race all of a sudden, I just realized, unless we go into absolute save mode here as we dive down into the corner, but I'm kind of risking it, hoping maybe we get some type of caution here as we get up the inside of Truex, actually inch in front of him, and as it happens we have a crash behind. Tyler Reddick blows the right front tire, goes into the outside while collecting his teammate of Austin Dillon. Kurt Busch gets a little bit of contact as well. The caution comes out just as I'm talking about how I would love a caution, and now everybody is forced to come into the pit lane. It was a very easy call, of course, here. I was going to do half a can of fuel, no tires. I do put some grill tape on though, hoping that will give me an advantage here on the restart now as we get ready to go green for what will be the final restart of the day in Auto Club. But there you see the next race is going to be at Phoenix Raceway. Looking forward to that one. Last time we went there, we decided to champion, of course, Jimmy Johnson, who would be an 8-time champion. You look at the pit stop, Newman stays out. Kyle Busch has a terrible pit stop. He's no longer in the picture to win this race. We're all of a sudden on road number 2 with Kyle Larson, who's in position to maybe get a win here now as we go down this front straightaway. Green flag is back out. 2 laps remain here in Auto Club. Ryan Newman stays out and now goes from, I don't know, the mid-teens to a position to potentially win this race. I get right to the back of the 22 of Joey Logano now as we come through the center of turns 1 and 2, and immediately the back end kind of slips out from under me there, and I slide up the track on the exit of the corner. Cole Custer right behind me there in P6, as well as we go down this back straightaway. Larson P3 now as he needs to get to the inside of Newman if he wants to win this race, but Logano already clear of Ryan Newman as we dive down into the corner. Larson had a chance all day long to maybe go for a win now as we slide on the exit of turn 4 again there. We save it, but the car driving terribly here on the exit of the corner, so our chances of winning get eliminated right here as we go down this front straightaway. I had hope coming to that restart when we were in P4 that we would have a good chance now as this final lap is underway, and now we just try to hang on for a top 10 at this point as Logano is way out in front. Larson gets stuck behind the 6 as I get into the back of the 41 there. A huge checkup I was not expecting it all now as we're 3 wide in front of us as we go down this back straightaway for the final time, and all of a sudden we find ourselves outside of the top 10 on this final lap as we have a huge pull though from the 41 of Custer as we dive down into turn 3 for the final time. Joey Logano out front there as we're close with the 18 of Kyle. We're sliding again there through the center of the corner. A big save though on the exit of turns 4 now as we get another run to the inside of Custer right to the back of the 18. Joey Logano wins in Auto Club. We come through making contact with Custer, but we get 10th place at the line here in the Auto Club 400, so it's still a decent finish, but at the same time a little bit disappointing because we restarted P4 and we managed to come out of that with a 10th place finish. Joey Logano, though, with the victory. Hamlin had a good finish as well. Kyle Busch was in position to potentially win, or at least battle Logano for the win, and just a terrible pit stop put Kyle Busch down in P9, so not good for him there. As you see the rest of the finishing order, Bubba Wallace had a nice rebound to P21, Harrison Burton, the rookie, in 20th, Daniel Suarez down there in 27th place, and then we got Quinn Houff down in P30, and then to round out the 39th and 40th are the two DNFs of Tyler Reddick as well as Matt DiBenedetto. But now, of course, we're going to do a post-race interview here about a race with Jay Cook.
Solid day for you, Gary. You had some speed to put you up front, but faded at the final restart due to the wrong call on pit road. What's your thoughts on the start of the season?
I mean, it's been a great start to the season, to be honest with you, Jay. I mean, 10th place, worst finish that we've had this season. So, I mean, I'm happy when we can say that so far. But it's only 3 races in, so who knows? Plenty of time for things to still change and go the wrong way. But, you know, just coming off the news that we won't be in this car next year or next season, it's certainly nice to back it up still with a solid run here of 10th place. Could have done better, but yeah, we just maybe should have taken tires there. It would have put us in a better position. But still, top 10, I'll take it. Congrats to Joey on the win. I thought Larson might have gotten him for a second, but just he got stuck behind Newman, I saw. But overall, a good day. Alright, so there you heard the post-race interview between myself as well as Jay. Now, as we're going to check out the results, or the point standings, I should say, before we end this episode. As always, if you guys enjoyed, you do know what to do. There you see the playoff standings for the Xfinity Series. So Ross Chastain, Ryan Sieg, Matt Mills, currently the top 3 with victory. Zane Smith, the rookie, rounds out the playoff grid. 5th place is another rookie of Todd Gilliland. Of course, Smith in the 9 car, Gilliland in the 98 car, replacing both Briscoe, and then Smith replaced Gregson, who now jumped up to the Cup Series along with Chase Briscoe as well. As you see the playoff grid here, though, for the Cup Series right now, Byron rounds out the top 10. Newman still inside. Larson up to P11 on the playoff grid. Bowman down there in 12th place. Harvick 13th. The rookies of Briscoe and Burton 14th and 15th. Chase Elliott down there in that last playoff position now. So Hamlin, Logano, Kurt Busch all locked into the playoffs. So that's going to do it, though, for this episode. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode there. As you see the rest of the point standings on your screen. But I will see you guys in the next one for Phoenix Raceway. Have yourselves a great day, everybody.